It really is extraordinary that for the last few hundred years, the only option about how to work or where to work has been a desk or an office.
The new physical environment has totally transformed not only the way people work, but the way people feel about their work. We didn't know we wanted activity-based working. As a matter of fact, we had never heard of activity-based working.
ABW is activity-based working, and it's a new form of working that's about activating your workplace in a whole new dynamic way. It's about empowering workers, it's about giving a range of choice and opportunity to people, and essentially changing the dynamics of human relationships in your workplace.
There's no office boundary, there's no voicemail boundary, so everyone that's in the room together is working together. So it's ultimate collaboration. And now that we can be so mobile that technology has taken a back seat from what we do and can facilitate our work instead of drive it, we can go back to the importance of thinking and communication.
So our goal is to change the way professionals learn, and we do that by scaling one-to-one learning. We think that learning needs to change for all levels of people, actually, but we're just having to focus on the professional segment. And in the professional segment, professional learning takes place, in our mind, one-on-one. It takes place when you can learn from someone directly who understands the material you're trying to learn in an interactive environment. And so in order to pursue the kind of teaching and learning we want to pursue, we host lots of meetings, thousands and thousands all over the world. And in 15 years, we've never hosted a single meeting in a GLG office. And we decided to bring most of those meetings into our space, and that required a pretty different type of architecture.
So we were on this learning journey with Clive and his team, and discovered that there was this big idea that people could work in an environment that provided an entirely new variety of working environments, where you could work at a table, you could work in a conference room, you could work in a phone booth, you could work in a more living room atmosphere, you could be with groups of people making a lot of noise, you could go off and be quiet by yourself somewhere. That all of these options were available to us through ABW, through activity-based working.
And then you may also have a situation where somebody just comes to the cafe because they want to grab a cup of coffee, they're sitting out in the open, maybe at one of the diner-style booths or one of the couches. That in and of itself invites collaboration, right? Saying, I'm in an open space, I'm open to engage with others, really tells people that you're ready to collaborate. Now, if I don't want to, I go into a phone booth, right? If I don't want to, maybe I'm sitting in a private area in the office that just gives me a chance to concentrate on my own things. But lots of opportunity to collaborate in many different ways, in many different fashions.
And so it makes it natural to have events around you while you're working, and it makes you're able to use space that you would never normally use. So we're able to use our atrium space for an event while people are working right next door, which you never be able to do that before. You would need walls and you would need sound barriers, and here we don't need that because of the way that the space has been designed and the way that the acoustics have been designed. We can host events in our general spaces while people are still working and not disrupt work, but also make for an interesting backdrop to what we do, which is technology-enabled connections.
As people are moving through the office, they see this collaboration happening, they can join, they can see what's going on. And again, it creates this open communication that wasn't in our previous office. Those were always closed-door meetings because that's where the technology was. It was behind the doors. So we've pulled that out onto the floor to allow people to move around and work in a very open and mobile fashion. Anywhere you take your laptop, your phone goes with you. So when you pop over to the cafe to have a coffee break and you have your laptop with you and your phone rings, it's there with you. You don't miss the call because it's back at your desk. And everybody has the wireless headsets that enable them to then be mobile from their laptop. So now you can move with your laptop into the cafe, the phone can ring, and you can get up and leave your laptop there and pop into a phone booth. And by doing that, you've become exceptionally mobile, and you have an opportunity to really use the whole space as it's designed.
We get, thousands of calls a day from our clients trying to solve their biggest concerns or help them with an issue that they want answered or insight into something they're looking for. And the point is if we were able to get one person over here who's really good in healthcare, one person over here who's really good in chemical goods and, you know, industrials, you put them together and they start talking. And we weren't doing that in our old office. But now we have a space where that just happens naturally. And whether it be on my creative team or whether it be with, you know, the team leaders here or with our practice areas, it's just flourishing. Every day somebody new is visiting, and it's like almost like we've opened our doors to everybody, and the communication is just flowing. And you know, it's gonna tap into ROI. Guarantee you that we're getting more projects in from clients because they're coming to visit our space and they're meeting other people that they normally don't meet when they're having a conversation on a phone, and that's really helping us.
And it's changed the density issue in the workplace, because you can now, instead of having a 40 to 60% occupancy rate, you can shift that rate up to 80% with a small redundancy rate to ensure that there are always open desks. And you can run this office with a new level of buzz and mobility and fluidity in the way in which people are using space. And I think GLG is a fantastic example of that, where you can really see a workplace in action in a very kind of highly visible, highly transparent way.